When we're doing diagnostics, we're doing troubleshooting of a Cisco catalyst switch, one of our most useful commands is the show interfaces command. This is going to give us a look at the statistics and the current operation of a particular interface. Before we take a look at the show interfaces command though, let me give you another command. Let's do a show IP interface brief. Show IP interface brief, and let's not be concerned about the VLAN 1 interface right now. That's a virtual interface. What we want to focus on right now are the physical interfaces. We've got all these fast Ethernet interfaces. I think I even have, I've got a couple of gigabit interfaces as well. And right now I've only got one of these ports connected to the network. It's the port via which I'm secure shelling into this switch, and it's fast Ethernet 1/0/1. You can see that it is up the status and the protocol. This is valuable information. This tells me that I'm up at layer 1 at the physical layer. That's what the first up means. The second up means that I'm up at the data link layer. I'm up at layer 2. If I expect this port to be operational, then it should be in the up state. If we want to zoom in and get a bit more detailed information on that port, I can say show interfaces fast Ethernet 1/0/1. And let's take a look at some of the information presented to us. First of all, we've already seen this in the show IP interface brief command, but we are up and the line protocol is up. We're up. That's what we want. We're up at layer 1, we're up at layer 2, we're in a connected state. Another interesting piece of information, I think, is this BIA. The BIA is the burned in address. Remember that a network interface card that you might find in a PC, it has a built-in MAC address that was burned into that network interface card at the factory. Same thing with our ports on our Cisco Catalyst switches. They've got burned in MAC addresses, and there's a different MAC address for each of our ports. Another useful piece of information is the duplex. In what duplex mode are we currently operating? Recall that full duplex allows us to transmit and receive at the same time. Full duplex, do you remember? Does it use CSMA CD, carrier sense multiple access with collision detection? No, it does not. Half duplex needs to do that though oftentimes, and here we're operating in full duplex, so no need for CSMA CD. We see our current operational speed. The media type is 10100 base TX, so we could be configured to run as 10 megabit or 100 megabit per second, but here we're running at 100 megabits per second. Let's take a look at just a couple of other things. We have lots of statistics down here if we're interested in doing troubleshooting. A couple that I look to frequently are these. The CRC, the cyclical redundancy check errors. This says I have 0 of those errors right now. And another one I look to is late collisions. I've got 0 late collisions. Let me tell you why those two really stand out to me. One of the most common problems that you will probably experience when it comes to troubleshooting catalyst switches, or at least one of the most common problems that I've faced, is having a duplex mismatch. The port on the switch is set to one duplex, maybe it's half, maybe it's full, but the device connected to the switch port, like the PC, it's set to the other. So the switch is set to full, the PC is set to half, as an example. And you might think, oh, that's not going to happen to me because my PC is set to auto-negotiate, and the switch port is set to auto-negotiate. Well, sometimes I've seen it fail. Even if you're set to auto-negotiate, it still could fail. And if you mismatch, one of the challenging things about troubleshooting that condition is that the data does get through somewhat. There seems to be slow performance on the network, but some data is getting through. But if you have a duplex mismatch, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for high CRC errors or high late collision errors, and that number would be incrementing as we're trying to pass traffic. The CRC errors, they would be seen on the side of the link that was set to full duplex. The late collision errors, they would be seen on the side of the link that was set to half duplex. Those are some of the things. Obviously, there's a plethora of information in this show interfaces output, but those are some of the things that I use most often when I'm gathering information about a switch interface.